Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to Shrudi's Pharma World. Today I am going to talk about an interesting topic, that is ostwald viscometer. Here you can see ostwald viscometer. This is our ostwald viscometer, and ostwald viscometer is also known as capillary viscometer. This ostwald viscometer is just like a U-tube. Am I right? This is just like a U-tube. This ostwald viscometer consists of two arms. This is left arm and this is right arm. This left arm consists of a bulging at its lower part, and the right arm also having a bulging or a bulb at its upper part. Okay, here you can see two marking B and C. This is B and this is C. Okay, this apparatus consists of two marking at the right arm above and below the bulb. This is few points regarding this ostwald viscometer. Now I am going to tell you how you can determine viscosity of an unknown sample using this viscometer. The liquid whose viscosity is to be measured is poured through this left arm. Okay, this is left arm. Through this left arm, the liquid to be measured is poured into the apparatus. After that, you can suck the sample into the right arm up to the level B. Then you should close the left arm with the help of your thumb. After that, you should fit this ostwald viscometer on a burette stand. Then you slowly remove your thumb. Then note down the time required for the liquid dropping down from the point B to C. That is our time of flow of liquid. Here you can see the liquid is dropping down from the point B to C. So the time required for the liquid dropping down from point B to C is noted down. Then using specific gravity bottle, you can determine the density of sample. Like this, you can repeat the same procedure with a sample whose viscosity is known. Then you can substitute the values in the equation. Eta 1 equal to rho 1 T1 divided by rho 2 T2 into eta 2. By using this ostwald viscometer, we are determining the time required for the liquid flowing down from point B to C, that is time of flow of unknown liquid. Like this, we can determine the time of flow of standard liquid. Standard liquid means whose viscosity is known. By using specific gravity bottle, we can find the density of unknown liquid. The density of water is already known and viscosity of water is known. We can substitute these values in our equation. By using this equation, we can find the viscosity of an unknown sample. Now we are going to discuss the derivation part. Poiseuille's law expresses the following relationship for the flow of liquid through a capillary viscometer. As we know, ostwald viscometer and capillary viscometer are the same. Okay, so Poiseuille's law expresses this relationship for the liquid flowing through a capillary viscometer. Eta equal to pi r raised to 4 T delta P divided by 8 LV. Here, eta is the viscosity of liquid, r is the radius of the inside capillary, T is the time of flow, delta P is the pressure head, L is the length of the capillary, V is the volume of the liquid flowing. So this is our ostwald viscometer. For a given ostwald viscometer, the length, radius and volume, these are constant. So we can combine these factors into a single constant and it represents K. Then our equation changes to eta equal to KT delta P. K is the constant. K is our constant. Okay. For a particular ostwald viscometer, the length, radius and volume, these three factors can be taken as a constant and that represent K. In this equation, the radius, length and volume can be taken as constant. Pi by 8 is also constant, and we can combine all these factors into a single constant and that constant value represent K. Okay, then our equation changes to eta equal to K T delta P. Okay, is it clear? So we get an equation eta equal to kt delta p. Here k is a constant, t is the time of flow of liquid, delta p is the pressure head. And this pressure head that depends on the density of liquid being measured and the acceleration due to gravity and the difference in height of the liquid arms of the viscometer. These three factors influence this pressure head. What are the different factors influencing our pressure head? The first one is density of liquid being measured, and the second one is acceleration due to gravity, and the third one is the difference in height of the liquid arms of our viscometer. As we know, acceleration due to gravity is constant, and the levels in the capillary tube. Okay, the levels in the capillary tube can be made constant by taking accurately measured identical volumes of all liquid. So acceleration due to gravity is constant and the volume of liquid is also constant. Then these two factors can be taken as constant. Then our equation changes to eta equal to k dash t rho. This is our modified equation, and the delta p means our pressure head. In the previous equation, eta equal to k t delta p. In this equation, delta p is our pressure head, density of the liquid flowing through the capillary viscometer, acceleration due to gravity, and the levels in the capillary tube. These are the three factors that influence the pressure head. Among these three factors, density, acceleration due to gravity, and the levels in the capillary tube, among these three factors, acceleration due to gravity is constant, that we know. And the levels in the capillary tube can also be taken as a constant by taking accurately measured identical volumes of all liquid. So these two factors can be taken as a constant, and these two factors incorporated into that constant k, then we get a new constant value, that is k dash. Now the equation is like this: eta equal to k dash t rho. Rho means the density of the liquid flowing through the capillary viscometer. This is the modified equation. Eta equal to k dash t rho. In this equation, k dash is a constant of the viscometer, and we can determine the constant value using a liquid of non-viscosity. Alternatively, we can avoid the determination of constant k by incorporating the test and standard samples while deriving our equation. You can take two samples, one is test sample and the other one is standard sample. Standard sample means you know the viscosity of that sample. Okay, now the viscosity of an unknown sample that represent eta 1, and the viscosity of standard sample that is eta 2. Okay, then we get two equation for the unknown and known sample. So eta 1 and eta 2 are the viscosities of the unknown liquid and the standard liquid. And we can express the viscosity of unknown and known samples like this: eta 1 equal to k dash t1 rho 1, eta 2 equal to k dash t2 rho 2. By combining these two equations, we get another equation that is eta 1 equal to rho 1 t1 divided by rho 2 t2 into eta 2. By using this equation, we can determine the viscosity of an unknown sample. By using this equation, we can determine the relative and absolute viscosities of the sample. And this Ostwald viscometer only gives the mean value of viscosity, because one value of pressure head is possible in this case. It is only applicable for less viscous solutions. Now let's see what are the important applications. This method is used for quality control purpose in the formulation and evaluation of pharmaceutical dispersion systems such as colloids, dilute suspensions, emulsions, etc. And this method is official in IP for the evaluation of liquid paraffin, light liquid paraffin and dextran 40 injection. So in this presentation we have studied about Ostwald viscometer, how we are going to calculate the viscosity of an unknown sample, and the derivation part also we have discussed. I hope this video was engaging and you have learned something from it. If you like this video, please give it a like and let me know something in the comment. Thank you.